Carson Palmer, been waiting for this moment so anxiously, he told us the other day. Three-man rush, Palmer wide open. It's Palmer steps away from pressure. Watch as a second down. Palmer on the fake.
Palmer under duress, throws to the end zone, touchdown.
Palmer being blitzed, throws, completes to Teron Brown at the 25. Get that off the field. Here's Palmer again. Going to the end zone.
Ever wonder why Carson Palmer's career felt like a roller coaster? One moment, he's leading the Bengals to their first playoff appearance in 15 years. The next, he's lying on the field with a career-threatening knee injury. From high school phenom to Heisman winner, from devastating setback to late career resurgence, Palmer's journey is one of the NFL's most compelling stories. Let's break down how good Carson Palmer actually was and why his impact on the league is greater than you might think. Carson Palmer's journey to football stardom began long before that moment though. Growing up in California, he showed natural athleticism from an early age. But it wasn't until he hit high school that his potential as a quarterback really started to shine. Despite his obvious skills, college recruiters weren't exactly beating down Palmer's door at first. It's hard to believe now, but the future Heisman winner was flying under the radar. Palmer's under-recruitment was likely due to a combination of factors, including the competitiveness of California high school football. And prove himself he did. At Santa Margarita Catholic High, Palmer rewrote the record books. His passing yards and touchdowns were off the charts, setting county records and catching the attention of college scouts. Palmer's high school career numbers were the kind of production that makes college coaches sit up and take notice. As Palmer's reputation grew, so did the attention from top programs. His combination of size, arm strength, and accuracy had scouts drooling. He had the tools to be a standout quarterback at the next level. In the end, Palmer chose to stay close to home. He committed to USC, a program with a rich history of producing NFL talent. It was a perfect match on paper. A blue-chip quarterback prospect joining forces with one of college football's most storied programs. Palmer arrived on campus with sky-high expectations. Trojan fans were already dreaming of national championships and Heisman trophies. But college football has a way of humbling even the most talented players. The transition from high school star to college quarterback isn't always smooth sailing. As Palmer's confidence wavered, USC welcomed a new coach who would change everything. Pete Carroll's arrival could have ended Palmer's career, but instead it kick-started one of the greatest comebacks in college football. What happened next surprised everyone, including Palmer himself. Palmer's early years at USC were rough. He started as a backup, but got his chance to start by the end of his first season. Things looked promising until injuries and poor performances derailed his progress. By 2001, Palmer was at a crossroads. He'd been in college for 4 years with little to show for it. That's when Pete Carroll took over as head coach. Carroll brought new energy to the program and put every starting job up for grabs, including Palmer's. It was a make-or-break moment for the once promising quarterback. The improvement was steady. In 2001, Palmer showed progress, and while the team's record wasn't great, you could feel things starting to turn around, passing for over 2,500 yards and 13 touchdowns. Then came 2002, Palmer's fifth and final year at USC. It was like watching a different quarterback. He exploded onto the scene, shattering school records and transforming into a true star. Palmer threw for over 3,900 yards and had 33 touchdown passes. Palmer's numbers were off the charts, and his performances were turning heads across the country. All those years of struggle paid off in a big way. Palmer capped off his college career by winning the Heisman Trophy. He became the first USC quarterback ever to win the award. It was a storybook ending to a college career that had more twists and turns than anyone expected. By the time Palmer left USC, he'd rewritten the record books. He finished as the Pac-10's all-time leader in several categories. The guy who almost quit football a few years earlier was now one of the most sought-after prospects for the NFL draft. As Palmer prepared for the next chapter of his career, expectations were sky high. NFL teams were excited about his potential. The kid who struggled for years had become a man ready to take on the pros. But as Carson was about to find out, the NFL had its own set of challenges waiting for him. Palmer's early days with the Bengals were filled with promise. In 2005, he had a breakout season, throwing for 3,836 yards and a league-leading 32 touchdowns. He led the team to an 11-5 record and their first playoff appearance since 1990. Bengals fans were ecstatic. It looked like they finally had their franchise quarterback. But then came the 2005 playoffs and everything changed. In Palmer's first ever postseason game, he suffered a severe knee injury on his very first pass attempt. It was a crushing blow for Palmer and the entire Bengals organization. Many wondered if he would ever play at the same level again. Palmer worked tirelessly to recover, and in the following seasons, he showed he still had what it takes. He put up solid numbers, throwing for over 4,000 yards in both 2006 and 2007. However, the Bengals couldn't quite recapture the magic of 2005, missing the playoffs both years. The next few seasons were a mixed bag for Palmer and the Bengals. He missed most of 2008 with an injury, but bounced back in 2009, helping lead the team to another playoff berth. Palmer threw for 3,094 yards and 21 touchdowns that year, but once again, the Bengals couldn't get past the first round of the playoffs. As the years went on, tension started to build between Palmer and the Bengals management. The team's inconsistent performance and repeated playoff disappointments were taking their toll. Things came to a head after the 2010 season when the Bengals finished 4-12. Palmer had had enough and demanded a trade, even threatening to retire if the team didn't move him. The situation quickly deteriorated, with Palmer making bold statements about never returning to the Bengals. The team initially refused to trade him, leading to a standoff that lasted into the 2011 season. Finally, midway through the year, the Bengals relented and traded Palmer to the Oakland Raiders. As Palmer packed his bags for Oakland, he left behind a complicated legacy in Cincinnati. He had some great moments with the Bengals, but also some bitter disappointments. Now he was hoping for a fresh start with the Raiders. Little did he know, the best was yet to come. Carson Palmer joined the Arizona Cardinals at age 33, entering a new chapter in his career. New head coach Bruce Arians saw potential in the veteran quarterback to help rebuild the franchise. Palmer's first year with the Cardinals showed promise but had its challenges. He put up solid numbers, though the team's performance was mixed. The 2014 season started with optimism. Palmer signed a lucrative extension, and the Cardinals were winning games. But in Week 9, disaster struck. Palmer tore his ACL against the Rams, the same injury that had previously derailed his career in Cincinnati. Many thought this might be the end for the 34-year-old quarterback. Palmer, however, wasn't ready to call it quits. He worked tirelessly to get back on the field, and his comeback in 2015 was remarkable. At 36, Palmer had one of his best seasons ever, setting Cardinals franchise records and leading one of the league's most potent passing attacks. The 2015 season was magical for the Cardinals. They won 13 games, clinched the NFC West, and secured a first-round playoff bye. Palmer was in the thick of the MVP conversation and made his third Pro Bowl appearance. But individual accolades weren't his focus. In the playoffs, Palmer finally got his first postseason victory, leading the Cardinals to a thrilling overtime win against the Packers in the divisional round. It felt like a storybook moment, but the journey ended abruptly in the NFC Championship game with a tough loss to the Carolina Panthers. Palmer played 2 more seasons in Arizona before retiring in 2018. He finished his career ranked 12th all-time in both passing yards and touchdowns. While he may not end up in Canton, Carson Palmer's impact on the game is undeniable. Carson Palmer's NFL journey is a testament to his resilience and adaptability. He overcame major injuries and team changes to become one of the most productive quarterbacks of his era. Palmer's ability to pass for over 4,000 yards with 3 different teams showcases his skill and versatility. His career was about more than just numbers, though. Palmer's story serves as an inspiration to players facing adversity, reminding us that in football, as in life, perseverance and adaptability can lead to remarkable achievements. To stay updated with our latest content, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.